Very good morning, everyone. There are like 7 students who joined in like by not following their naming convention. Jyotika, Nani, Manoj, Satvik, Suraj, Venkatesh, Vinay, and Bharadwaj, Balavishnu. These students must leave the meeting. You just join as a guest or whatever the option you have. Give the proper name, ID followed by name, and then join the meet. Otherwise, your login will not be considered. I clearly told in the class. I told in the group also. So you just ask your other friends who joined by following the naming convention properly. You just ask them and join properly. Otherwise, your login will not be considered. I have to see everyone's name as per the naming convention, ID followed by name properly. So during the class, don't just try to send any kind of messages, any kind of message. So you just ask any kind of queries or any doubts after the class only. So I'll just share the screen and let me check my screen is visible in the meeting, and let me check whether the same is getting reflected in the live or not. So just give me a moment. So throughout the session, you must be in the meeting. I mean, you be in the meet and you just work on your IDE, and sometimes you can use Notepad also to just note down some important points, and you can just watch the live uh, where you can just go back also if you just stuck with any point and all. So no screenshots will be posted. Only important parts like properties file, such kind of code will be only posted in the group. Remaining and all, you just need to check through live only. So the live recording will be automatically stopped after the class, and you can't even get it after the class. So make sure you're following during the class itself. So, and at the end of this class or middle of the class, I may ask you to post the screenshots in the group, and I'll give you only 5 to 10 minutes time only. Within that duration, with the taskbar, you just need to post the screenshots. If you don't have any interest, you can just leave the class just now itself. Right. Let's just check the live part. Yeah. So can I just get what we call, uh, I hope you are able to see my screen in the meet and you're able to see the live also. Can I get response in the chat? Right. Perfect. So this is my live screen, and one thing is clear that there will be nearly 5 to 10 seconds delay will be there in the WebEx meet as well as the YouTube live. So uh, and sometimes if you don't have a proper internet connection, the problem will be like the voice in the WebEx meet will not be in sync with the voice in the live also. It will be like the worst case only. If you just having challenges with internet connection only, you will face that issue. Otherwise, it will be like only 2 to 3 seconds delay only between the WebEx meet and YouTube live. Okay, so perfect. So it's your choice. You just follow either YouTube live or WebEx meeting. Uh, like in the WebEx meet, there is an option called as leave from computer audio. So if you just leave from computer audio, then the voice will not be audible in the WebEx. So you can follow the live YouTube live. So you just do it accordingly. I think YouTube live is better. So what you can do is like just leave the computer audio from the WebEx meet and just follow the YouTube live. But you must be in the meet because I'll check the attendance report clearly, right? So perfect. So 9:58, let's just take 2 minutes. Exactly this class will be started at 10 o'clock. And just check with your HDP team members and all, make sure they joined on time. Right. So make sure this live button is on red button so that you're on live. sometimes if you just go back and all, you'll not be in the live actually. So you can just skip the content like this if you want, if you're just stuck with any project creation and all, but don't try to talk with others and don't try to take the code from others and all. If there is a case where the code should be written, I'll post, no problem. So don't depend on others basically. You concentrate on the topic basically. So there are people where they're ready to take the code from others and all. There are people I know. So fine. Perfect. Good to go. So be ready with the Spring Boot workspace, and I'll take nearly 20 minutes time to complete the introduction part of Spring Cloud and microservices again, and then we'll start the demonstration. The demonstration will be very easy, but the only thing is like we need to create some 3 to 4 projects. The code is already ready. Whatever the Spring Boot MVC project we have, that code will be segregated to different set of microservices. So the code, everything is ready. Only the setup and the configuration will take time. So make sure you just follow all the what we call the instructions and the steps and all clearly, so that at the end you will get the output perfectly. Otherwise, if you don't follow the things in middle, you'll surely end up with some errors and all. So make sure you're following every step carefully and pay attention. Perfect. So sometimes you might have faced like internet connection during the meeting also. No problem. You can just leave and join the meeting. That's okay. You don't need to message, and don't try to message in during the class. Right. I know there are many students like they went their homes and or they are in villages and they might have issues with internet connection. No problem. Uh, just try to join. Even if you having challenges during the class, you leave and join the meet. I'm okay with that. Right. So this will be our last class mainly, and in the next week classes, cluster 6 on Wednesday, cluster 4 on Thursday, and cluster 5 on Saturday. The 1 or 2 topics, I mean, not part of the syllabus, but it'll be useful for the SDP project, will be discussed during this class. Perfect. We started Spring Boot long back, and we created projects like Spring Boot Hello World project. So this is the first project we have, right? Spring Boot Hello World project. So if you think that there is an important point, I just want you to make a note of it by taking notepad. It will be better, because as you know that I'll focus on some points where you'll get the errors and all. So make sure you're following those points, so that whenever you get any error and all, you can just check out that notepad, will be better. So make sure you're also maintaining notepad. And then after Spring Boot Hello World, I just discussed the second project, which is Spring Boot REST controller. After this, we discussed a project called as REST API, so which is Spring Boot REST API JPA project. Right. And then after that, I just started a good project, which is Spring Boot Web MVC project. It's completely demonstration of your what we call your SDP project. So it is MVC JPA project. So it's just completely like demonstration of your SDP project only, skill development project. These are 4 projects we have done, and here is just a simple project to 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 run Spring Boot project, or Spring Boot starter project actually, right? And then this is something like controller versus REST controller. We discussed what is controller and what is REST controller, everything we discussed. And I think we have done nearly 10 demos with 2 demos from the Postman API, add and view. And the next one is REST API. You know web services. Web services are nothing but API. So there are two types of API. One is SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol, and the next one is RESTful Web Services. RESTful Web Services is also called as REST API. So what is API? The code is already developed. So we are going to integrate in our code by performing operations like get, put, post, and delete. So many times discussed. And this one is your SDP project, complete your SDP project. We taken two services. One is admin and the second one is employee service. Don't consider customer because customer is considered in the admin service only to just cover a concept called as model attribute. And then I started discussing microservices, and we have done with one good project called as demo microservices. It's wonderful project actually. We use two APIs. One is internal API and the second one is external API. So I already told that what is an API. The code is already developed. So regarding internal API, which project we used actually? Spring Boot REST API project. I've taken the provision of using this project, Spring Boot REST API project, in my demo workspace. And regarding external API, so we used JSON placeholder. It's just a fake API where you can get the data of 6 resources: posts, comments, to-dos, albums, and there are users, right? There are totally 6 resources. We used post actually, JSON placeholder. And I just discussed one point here is REST template. REST template is used to communicate and exchange the data between multiple APIs. So we created a bean. And to communicate and exchange the data between multiple APIs. Perfect. So before going to start our class, I just want to give an introduction in the next 15 minutes, and then we'll start the discussion. The demonstration of the Spring Cloud, which is very important for your SDP project because by hackathon type, you have to segregate your entire SDP project, which you already developed in monolithic in microservice architecture. So let me repeat some point again. So if anyone asks like, what is monolithic architecture? I can simply tell them the first point is like, it is built as a single application, and which consists of multiple services. So for example, if I take for example student what we call student academic management system. This is my SDP project, for example. Now there are roles like roles as an admin, of course, student, and faculty. These are the main roles we have. And what are the services we can put actually? So we can have a services like of course admin service, and then we have a student service, and then faculty service, admin service, student service, faculty service. And apart from that, you can take a course service, all the CRUD operations, add course and all. If you don't want to take course service separately, you can put it in admin service actually. That's your wish. And you can take what we call content service, where faculty will add all the content and all, etc. So there are nearly 4 to 5 services we have, which we developed as a single application only. And the second point, this entire project consists of the entire project consists of a single application, and we will have one single either WAR file or jar file will be there. We will have only one single because it's just a only single project. So single WAR file, web application archive, jar file will be there, right? And then the disadvantages of this architecture will be the first one. It's just hard to implement. Changes because it's a single project. Changes in large and complex application. If it is very complex application, it is just hard to implement the changes. So changes can be done, but it will be very complex. And then scaling the measurements and all. And the problem will be new technology. Now, if I just want to technology, for example, changing technology. If I just want to change the technology, I just need to change the technology for entire project. Yes or no? So that's a very important thing. And the third one is it will become too complicated and to understand and to manage the code also, because it's a single project only. It's a single project only. Manage. So changing technology or framework of entire project will be difficult actually. This is very important point actually. Yeah. Of entire project will be difficult. Right. And let's just talk about the monolithic architecture. We just had a discussion about monolithic. What is that? It's a single application, and we just we just noted down like nearly 3 disadvantages. And then let's talk about microservice. What is microservice? Now, it's very simple. In the single application, you have multiple services. In the microservice, you have only one service. So that means what? My first point will be simple. It's small, independent, and loosely coupled, and each service is a separate code base, because student service is a separate code base, and admin service is separate code base. Everything is a separate code base, and which is independent of others also, right? And the next one is these services means microservices, can be deployed independently. These services can be deployed independently, and these services can communicate with each other by using internal, sometimes external APIs also. So there we have a concept called as REST template. REST template is used to communicate between two APIs, and you can exchange the data also. We already done, right? Spring Boot REST API project with the demo microservice. Right. And then this is very important point, very, very important. I clearly discussed in the last Microsoft discussion also. Services services no need to share the same technology stack. That means you can, for example, I can develop admin microservice in I told already, right? You can develop in Spring Boot, and student service I can develop in what we call Django, and faculty microservice you can just develop in Node.js. Node.js is a server. Express.js is a middleware technology. You can write either Node.js code or middleware. Express.js to develop your MERN stack middleware logic. Perfect. So there is no technology barrier. You can develop each and every service in different technologies. Perfect. And there are some good advantages, because what we call it's just single service and no need to depend on others. Every service can be deployed independently. You no need to depend on others and all. And then the only problem here is something like if that service is collapsed, for example, sometimes one service has to communicate with other service. If that service is collapsed, if the server is down and all, the other service also might have to stop actually. That is the only problem we have. And sometimes if the server is down, the other service will try to communicate with the service continuously. Even though if the service is stopped, for example, the other service, it's try to communicate with others. So in that case also, we need to take care of the request and all. Otherwise, it will take long time to send the request to the other service in which that service is stopped due to some reasons. So there are some issues regarding the service management and all. That is secondary only, but main advantage is like it is independent, loosely coupled, and can be deployed independently. Perfect. So my simple thing is like microservice, like it just contains a single service only, which is developed in a REST API. Every service developed in REST API. So what is REST API? It is used to provide, so as you all know that client will send the request, which called as HTTP request to this server. So what is the protocol we are using? HTTP protocol. And server will respond to the client request and send the response to the client. So what protocol you are using? HTTP protocol, hypertext transfer protocol. So while sending the request, there are some different types of HTTP requests we have in the REST API I'm talking about. So why only REST API? Because it's unrestriction. It is unrestricted and which can be dealt with XML data, multimedia, JSON, plain text, any kind of data can be possible in the REST API. There are some different types of HTTP requests. What are they? GET request, POST request, and delete request, and the line finally GET, POST, delete, and next is put request. So these we call it as what? Resources, because GET is a display resource, POST is add resource, delete means delete resource, put means update resource. So far we discussed about what projects we have done in Spring Boot, what is monolithic architecture or application, and then what are the disadvantages we have, and what is microservice architecture, and what is meant by REST API, what is the HTTP protocol, hypertext transfer protocol, and what are the different types of requests. Now let's start our exact class today, which is Spring Cloud. So what is Spring Cloud actually? Very important. Spring Cloud. It is a collection of tools for developing. It is a collection of tools for developing microservices based applications on the JVM. So what is JVM? Java Virtual Machine. Simple thing, guys. The perfect definition for JVM is, the Java class will be converted to the .java class will be converted to .class file. That means your Java code will be converted to bytecode. That bytecode can run on any mission, any operating system or any mission by just using a concept called as JVM. Whatever the system is going to have JVM, Java Virtual Machine, so that bytecode can run on that mission. That is the purpose of JVM, Java Virtual Machine platform. So it is used to develop microservice-based applications, and it provides set of libraries and tools that make it easier to build, and deploy microservices-based applications. Especially, it's just not like something like it is going to provide tools and libraries for developing microservices. It is used to deploy this application in the cloud environment also. So especially those that are deployed in a cloud environment. This is very important point. So Spring Cloud, it's just collection. It is going to provide some tools and libraries to develop microservice applications, especially to deploy in the cloud environment. Simple point. And what are the advantages, sir? Why we are using all these things and all? Of course, to develop microservice application and to deploy in the cloud environment. It allows one service to communicate with other service. That is a one point. Service, wherever I write service, that is microservice only. Simple thing. So don't confuse. Wherever I write service, it is a microservice. It is used to develop applications based on the cloud, and its architecture is designed according to the microservice. So the entire architecture is depending on the microservice architecture. And of course, it adopts Spring Boot model only, because the microservice is itself developing by using Spring Boot technology. Spring Boot is nothing but it's top of the Spring framework. So you already know what is the difference between Spring and Spring Boot: auto dependency or starter dependencies, and auto configuration and embedded server. So it adopts Spring Boot model. So these are the main advantages we have for the Spring Cloud. Spring Cloud. And then, so I just want to take an example. Let me take an example. Right. And then I'll start some components we have in the Spring Cloud. Very important. Right. So you just need to understand one thing that, so this is client, for example. So he's just using, let me just do one thing. So he's a client and he want to access some architecture. This is a microservice architecture. So this is the client. So what client will use? So you know already the client is going to use the browser. The client is going to use browser. So this is browser. Client will use browser to access the application. So client is going to access the browser. And we have microservices called as, the first one is M1. And the next one is, for example, M2. And the next one is M3. And this microservices, the first microservice is running on port number 2001. And this microservice is running on 2002. And this microservice is going to run on 2003. Perfect. Now, client is going to access this microservice by using a port number called as localhost 2001. This is 2002, 2003. So this is the microservice architecture. Every microservice is developed by using REST API concept, controller and the REST controller, right? So this is the microservice architecture as of now. And now I'm just going to introduce a new concept called as Eureka. I repeat, Eureka. What is Eureka, sir? Of course, Eureka is part of Spring Cloud. And what is Eureka? Eureka is a service discovery tool. I'll tell you what is service discovery for microservice architecture. And this Eureka is developed by the Netflix organization, because the complete Netflix is depending on the microservice architecture only. So during the development, during their development, they just use this library like Eureka, service discovery and service registry. So this tool is developed by the Netflix. So what it's going to provide? It provides a registry where services, what is meant by services? Microservices. I already told that services means microservices, where services can register themselves and discover other registered services. Eureka is a service discovery tool for microservice architecture developed by the Netflix. It provides a registry where services can register themselves and discover other registered services. And what are the key features we have? Let me just talk about key features of Eureka. The first point, service registration, which we simply call it as service registry. Services, what is services? Microservices. Services can register themselves. Services can register themselves with Eureka server. I told what is Eureka server and server, providing their location and metadata. Now let's come to this point. And a client will access these micro. So how many projects we have totally? M1, this is the first project, second project, and third project. Now you just need to create another project called as Eureka server. Eureka server is another project. The port number is, by default, Eureka server port number is 8761. All these microservices will be configured here, which we call it as service registry. What is service registry? All your microservice instances will be registered in the Eureka server, which we call it as service registry. Service registry. Service registry. So totally 4 projects now. M1, M2, M3 will be configured to Eureka server. Now, this M1, M2, M3 is called as Eureka clients. I repeat, Eureka clients. Eureka clients. All your microservice projects will be considered as your Eureka clients. All these clients will be registered into a server. Sir, what is a server? You can manage all your individual microservice applications from one place only, from one single dashboard. You'll get to know that actually. All these microservice instances will be configured at one place using Eureka server. Each and every microservice will be called it as Eureka client. Super. Now let's talk about, we already done with the service registration. Registration can be done with the Eureka server. And the next one is service discovery. I told, right, service discovery. So I told one thing, that service discovery is something, but clients can query Eureka server to discover available instances of a particular. I mean, what is instance and what is service? You know, one microservices can be found in a multiple instance also, right? So the same service can be opened in a multiple instances, right? So that we call it as instances. Instances means like multiple. EC2 instance is something like one server can be done in a multiple instances, multiple zones and multiple availability zones, right? Yeah. So clients can query Eureka server to discover available instances of a particular service. Of a particular service. Service means what we call microservice. So Eureka server and Eureka client, very important. So registration is nothing but all the microservices will be registered to Eureka server. Service discovery means we are going to find them. Generally, we are going to find specific instance based on port number, generally port number or the host name. Some based on the location, sometimes metadata, any data that we can use. And the third point is load balancing. Load balancing. So you can balance the load also. So you already know what is load balancing. That means load balancing is something like if too many members are working on the single service, so that you can create multiple instances of the same service. You can create multiple and you can balance the load accordingly. You can balance the load in such a way that by increasing or decreasing the number of instances of a single service or single microservice. So which we call it as what we call scaling also. The fourth point is fault tolerance. What is fault tolerance, sir? For example, when we have a multiple instances and running on the cloud, for example, if any instance is dropped, for example, any service is shut down, for example, the framework must be developed in such a way that it should recover fast. That means it should be in a position to recover the data again. That is called as fault tolerance. So what is fault tolerance? For example, so Eureka can detect and remove failed instances from the registry. That means from the Eureka server, ensuring that clients are not directed to unavailable services. So for example, if I if I just open all the failed services, for example, the remaining services will try to communicate with them. I told at the beginning of my class. So what Eureka server will do, whatever the failed service are there, that will be stopped. That will be stopped, or so it will remove all the failed instances. It will only up the current running instance also, the successful instances only. Otherwise, the problem will be the other services will try to communicate with the failed instances, and it will take more time to get the response and all. So unavailable services. Perfect. And so till now we discussed about what is Spring Cloud, and what are the advantages of Spring Cloud. And then we discussed about key features. The first one is service registration, or we call it as service registry. And then we discussed about service discovery. And the next one is load balancing. And the next one is what? Fault tolerance. That means the system must be in a position to recover the data back or recover the instance back. What is instance? Single service can run in the multiple instances. And I'll write definition of Eureka server and Eureka client. Eureka server means, I already told, it is a service discovery. I mean, every microservice will register into Eureka server. So we already told all these three services will register into Eureka server. Perfect. And Eureka server knows all the client applications, all the three microservice application running on each port and IP address. So it will get to know their port number, which is 2001, 2002, 2003, and the IP address or the domain name, or domain name also. And Eureka server is also known as discovery server. So clients can query Eureka server to discover available instance of a particular service. And let's talk about Eureka client. What is Eureka client? Any service which registers itself to Eureka server is known as Eureka client. That means what? Eureka will do two processes. One is it will register all the services to it, and it will discover the services by using port number or the IP address. Every microservice registers itself to Eureka server. So Eureka will do two things. One is service registration and service discovery. So every microservices will call it as Eureka client, and all these clients will be registered to one server, which call it as Eureka server. After the registration, Eureka server will discover each and every Eureka client by using their port number or any IP address or any domain number and all. It was clear. So clear as of now. So what we have done so far. So we just discussed what is Spring Cloud. Spring Cloud is something like, it is used to provide tools and libraries to build a microservice architecture. And the advantages are, it allows one service to communicate with other. It is used to develop applications based on cloud. Its architecture is designed according to the microservice architecture, and it adopts Spring Cloud. What is Eureka? Eureka is a service discovery tool. It is developed by Netflix. It is used to register all the services themselves and discover them. So what is registration? All the microservices must be registered under Eureka server. And after the registration, if you want to discover them, we will use service discovery. Third one is load balancing. Fourth one is fault tolerance. So now here is my architecture, and let's just start the implementation of this. Very important. I hope you're ready. Let me ask you one question. Meanwhile, now tell me one thing. How many Eureka clients as of now, as per the architecture? As per the architecture, how many Eureka clients we have? 3. So we have 3: M1, M2, M3. 2001, 2002, 2003. And what is the by default what is the by default number of what is the by default port number of Eureka server? What is the by default port number? 8761. And can you just tell me what is the by default port number of Spring Boot project generally? You know, you'll get one error, right? Already in use. What is the 8080? Super, super. And who developed this Eureka concept? Part of Spring Cloud. Which organization developed? Netflix, right? So, and the other one is apart from, and I mean, there is a one service which is going to register all the microservices under Eureka server. What is that service called as part of Eureka? There is a one service which is register. Yeah, service registry. Super. So which we call it as service registry or service registration. And next point, after the registration, if I just want to find the service, for example, now what is the service we have to use? I want to find the service based on the port number. What we call it as discovery. Perfect, Andy. Super. Service discovery. Registry is something like to register all the services at one place. Discovery is something like we have to find them. Okay. Now tell me one thing. Now, as per the architecture, how many projects we need to create? Just think, or total how many projects we need to create as per the architecture. Many one saying 3 or 4. It is 4. The answer is 4 because 3 are Eureka clients and 1 is Eureka server. And let me ask you one thing. For example, what is the one project where I can see all these 3 services in the dashboard? What is that project? From that project, I can see all these 3 services from the Eureka server. Perfect, Andy. Good responses. Admin service guard boss, Eureka server. Okay, Eureka server. Are you ready, boys? 10:35. Ready? Okay. Perfect. Let's start. Let's create a new project, new Spring Boot project. And this new Spring Boot project is like, let me take it as admin microservice. Admin microservice. And this is Marvin, var com.klab.jfsd. Everything is perfect. And here it is admin microservice. Perfect. This is fine actually. Right. Next. And let's take the first one as Spring Web, because I need web. And then DevTools. I don't want Lombok as of now. If I want, I'll add later. And the next one is I need actuator actually. Actuator also will be covered now. And then Spring Boot DevTools actuator, and then we need MySQL driver. And then we need data JPA. Okay. So DevTools actuator, JPA, MySQL driver, web. Till I want only these 5. If I want Eureka server and all will be added later. This is a client actually. So let's start our microservice. Microservice architecture demo. I'll take time while creation of the project because I'll write everything in the notepad also. So meanwhile, you just complete the project creation so that there will not be any delay and there will be no any rush and all in creating projects. Just be slow, create everything, create slowly because if you don't follow any step, you'll be end up with errors because we are going to run multiple projects now. So we are going to do a real-time project where our SDP project will be segregated to what we call microservice architecture. The first one I'm going to create is microservice, admin microservice. Next. If you observe, like Spring Boot version is 3.1.5. Sometimes it will take 3.1.4 also. It's based on the Spring Tool suite they downloaded. If they downloaded like previous version, they'll get up to 3.14 it seems, but everyone will get 3.15 on it. I'm repeating, if you get 3.1.4 also, no problem. So don't ask me questions, sir. I'm getting 3.1.4. Right. Click on next. And something like this zip file will be downloaded from the start.spring.io. You know already how to create the projects. There are 4 ways we discussed. Finish. And go to Java resources, com.klf. I want to tell you one point regarding this servlet initializer. Servlet initializer is something like basically, generally, if you want to configure your servlets and all, you will use web.xml, right? So here we have a provision that servlet initializer where you can configure all your servlets and all, your dispatch servlet, any kind of servlet you can configure. But for the latest versions and all, we are not going to get this servlet initializer. You don't need to configure any servlet manually. It will be automatically only. So whenever you want to configure your servlet, you can use this file, a servlet initializer, right? But for now, there is no need. And let's use component scan. Right. Component scan, base packages, source, base packages, curly brace. So if you want to give only one, you can give by using double quotes directly. But if you want to give multiple, just use curly brace, JFSD.springboot. I repeat again, uh, even if you give any package spelling also, you'll be end up with errors. I hope you know already. This component scan is used to configure, scan all the configurations, all the pins and all. It is optional only. And let's put a statement here, sysout. This is admin microservices. So don't just put a statements like microservice antarra babu ivanni vottu. So make sure you're using only a correct sentences like admin microservices. Admin microservice. Right. Right. I'm done actually. Now let's go to application properties. Uh, 1 second, I'll do modifications and I'll give it to you. I want to run by using 2001 actually. And the the database name is microservices. I repeat, microservices. And everything is perfect. Okay. 2001. Right. So you can just use this code or you can just copy paste from your what we call in your previous project also. You don't need to copy from my file only. So these are new table microservices. It's a very important one. Microservices. So this is my admin microservice. So this is admin. This is admin microservice running on port number 2001. Till now, I just created 2001 admin microservice. Okay, I didn't use any Eureka and all. I created only a project. Perfect. And let's start creating our packages. You can either right click on the src/main/java or you can right click on the package. So if you just directly click on package, you can use model, dot model, that's enough. Dot model. And let's create the next one as per the order repository. Uh, okay. And the next one is service, services or service. One service enough because it's admin microservice. And then the last one is controller. Perfect. And then let's start creating our uh, the first one is, I think, models, repositories, and the services. Okay. In the controller, we'll create a class called as admin controller. Right. And okay. And let's create microservices. You I think in my case, the microservice table is already there. Let me just drop it. Otherwise, you'll be confused. Right. Let me create again. Create database microservices. If you want, you can create multiple database also, no problem. But it'll be very confused and all if you create multiple databases. So create one single database and which contains all the tables and all. So use microservices, right? Show tables, right? And then I didn't run the project actually. Okay, let's and from the model admin customer employee. It's just copy and paste. So can you just copy paste admin customer? Let me give, you can copy paste guys. You don't need to depend on, but still okay. Admin microservices, Java. So just copy paste all these three under models. I still didn't run the project. So let's just wait. And then coming to repository, you know, there are three types of repositories we have taken. One is admin, customer, employee. There will be some people will ask me one doubt that, sir, as it is admin microservices, do we need to only run admin repository? Admin is admin service only, but he can access any kind of repository, admin, customer, employee. When it comes to employee microservices, he can have a provision for only employee repository only. Right. So let me just copy that and paste under repository. I think let me just copy. Done. Repositories are done as of now. Repositories and models are done. Just check where you are copy pasting all the files and all properly. You must be cautious while just having the all the files. Otherwise, you'll be end up with the errors for sure. I'm done with the model. I'm done with the repository. Now let's start with the service. Don't directly. You can just copy paste service directly, no problem, because no need to remove any kind of service. Admin service and service implementation only. Admin service, admin service implementation. So let's go to service. Admin service only. Don't write employee service because it's only one service. One service is called as microservice. Models are done, repositories are done, service are done. And then let's talk about the admin controller. In the admin controller, let me just take the code of admin controller. It's a client controller code, right? Now, if I just copy paste actually, I need to remove a lot of code actually. We'll do that and I'll give you. I need to remove employee service and this is admin controller. And there is no employee service, it's only admin service only. And admin means he'll start with login only, not with the index page and all. So take off this index.jsp, employee registration, employee login, check employee login, and then employee home. And I need only admin login, check admin login, view all employees, insert employee. Insert employee is not there. It is for registration, right? Yeah. Take off this and I need admin home and view is fine. View employee by ID, delete employee, delete by ID. Update profile is for employee, not for admin. So remove this. Add customer is for admin only, right? Yeah. So we already discussed. Update status is our admin. Okay, everything is done. And let's remove the unused import packages. Now everything is perfect. Admin controller is done. So controller, admin controller. Right. Now next one is we need to update the format XML. There are two dependencies, right? Embedded server will not compile your JSP file. So we need to add Tomcat Jasper and another one is Jakarta. So we need to go to dependencies. So dependencies, just come here and I think we have that in our group. Copy paste. So Control V, just before the dependency stack. And here you got one warning. You need to click on ignore warning. Ignore warning. It's perfect as of now. Everything is done. Right. And I need to have the JSP files also. Let me do that. JSP files under web app. I don't need all the JSP files. Let me just copy all the JSP files and then I'll remove the whatever I don't require along with the CSS. Before that, right click on web app, create a new file called as folder called as CSS. I'll copy all these files. I'll put it in web app, and I'll copy the style.css also under web app. I don't need delete. Sorry, I don't need display error, display message, which is for employee registration. I don't want this display message, not needed. I don't need employee home, login, navbar, registration, index. Navbar also not required actually, because navbar contains employee also, right? Update profile, I don't want update error, not required. And here we are getting one error, employee login. Okay. I need to take a title, Spring Boot MVC. And this navbar should be deleted. I'll run the project, and after that I'll give you all the JSP files also. Meanwhile, I want you to be ready. And we just need to do Marvin update also. I just forgot to do that. Marvin update. Make sure you have a stable internet connection while you're doing this. Then let me run this. I need to right click on the admin microservice, restart. All the tables got created. You can check the tables. Yeah, my tables got created. Employee, admin, customer, and admin. Admin microservice. We got the, and right click on this, open web browser. 2001, I think for slash, there is no code. That's the problem. We have to go to admin login. So slash admin login. So we got the admin login page. And what I want to do is, I want to write a code for slash also. So let's write for slash public string. Public string, what is that? Admin return admin microservice. And as we have used controller, we need to use response body also. So response body. Right. So now when we run the project, right click on this, open in browser. I got admin microservices, and you will show in the hackathon to reviewers slash admin login. So we got the admin login, but we don't have data. Let us check the tables, show tables. I'll give you JSP files directly. Just wait for two things. Just observe the DSC space admin underscore table. Insert into admin underscore table values. First one is admin. I need to mention the column names also. Yes, I remembered, because we are not going to give the value for ID. So username, comma, password. Right. Select star from admin underscore table. Right. So let me refresh this. If I give wrong values, for example, login failed, admin, and there are no employees, view employees, there is no data, delete employee, there is no data, update status, there is no data, add customer, I can add customer, for example, J. Surya Kiran, mail, surya@gmail.com. We need to add the text area also. We need to add the CSS, right? Okay. Isaac, contact number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Add customer. The customer added successfully. Back. Let's check the customer details. Customer underscore table. Right. Now logout. You can apply logout successfully also. Let me check again. Admin. So we got one customer and total. Now let all of you take these JSP files now. SRC main web app. So you need to okay. JSP files. And the style.css, we created one file called as style.css. Just copy paste the code of style.css under CSS. I know there are some people, they will directly copy paste under web app. No, it should be under CSS folder only. Must be placed in CSS folder only. Right. So 11 o'clock, let me wait up to till 11:10. All of you complete this admin microservice. Then we'll start creating the second one, employee microservice. Once you're done, you just let me know in the chat. You know, all the queries you can see: select query, count of star query, insert into query. Count of star means number of entities in the table, right? We already know. So once you're done, once you placed, I repeat, all the JSP files must be in web app and the style.css must be in CSS folder. And then go to boot dashboard, run it. If you're stuck with any point, just check the live. You can just go back also, no problem. So 2000 port number. And here client is getting access. Client is accessing the from the browser. So this is the client will access from browser. Okay. So now, meanwhile, let me just draw the diagram. The next one I'm going to create is employee microservice. The port number is 2000. Don't take same port number. It is 2000. This is 2002. Right. That is also easy. 5 minutes time only. We have everything ready. This is running on 2001. Employee microservice running on 2002. Once you're done in the chat, it's 11:05. I gave all the files and all. So till now, we have created one project, admin microservices, which is running on 2001 currently. So you can check the 2001 currently. And let's complete the second one also. So after that one, it will be very easy. Just Eureka server and Eureka client, we can wind up the class. So don't depend on the when this class will be closed and when this class will be complete and all. Just focus on the concept. Otherwise, if you don't have interest, you can freely send me your ID to my Telegram and you can leave the class. There is no problem. You no need to waste your time. You can just directly go to your movie and enjoy like anything. No need. Just send me your ID and leave the class. No problem. Yeah. I just want to tell you one thing that after the employee registration, we are going to integrate with Eureka server, Eureka client. I hope already discussed. Eureka is one of the service discovery tool we have. There are two features we have: service registration, service discovery. All this admin microservice and employee microservice, we call it as client. And we will going to create third project called as Eureka server. In the Eureka server, we are going to see all these services. That screenshot you're going to post in our group. Will be very interesting, guys. Will be very interesting. Yeah. Right. You will see that output. That is X. Till now, whatever we are doing as of now, it is just a normal thing. We are just segregating the project only. But the later part, the Spring Cloud part, will be very interesting. And at the end, I just focus on the how to write the session timeout code also, like session.invalidate. Accordingly, you just use your project. And remaining things like foreign key mapping, everything we can discuss on the next class. Cluster 6 must come to class on Wednesday. Maybe I'll take up to like 12 o'clock and all, like, because you missed the class on Tuesday. So that day I discussed what are the pending topics. As per the syllabus, we are going to complete today, but the remaining things we're going to discuss on that day, right? Perfect. 11:08. Let's start creating the second project. Let me close all the tabs and otherwise it will be confused. So admin is done. Create a new project. Employee microservice. Once you're done, you just keep a message in the chat because entire chart will be exported at the end of the class. So even if you are, even if you are done while I'm doing the next task also, you can post the message, no problem. Take your time, no problem. So everything is perfect. We need to change the description here. That is very important. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Next. And we need Spring Web. Don't take Spring Web Services. It is for SOAP Web Services. DevTools, MySQL, Spring Data JPA, Actuator. Okay, these five. I think we have taken these five for previous one also. If you want to put Java Mail, you can take Java Mail also. But I don't want Java Mail. Lombok you can take if you want. @data is for setter and getter methods. @setter annotation for setter methods. @getter for getter methods. If you're confused with that, you just don't take what we call this Lombok. Next. Finish. Still my 2001 port number is running. Okay. Where is employee? Here. Okay. And this employee. Let's complete the format XML first. Will be very easy actually. If you complete that part so that we can do the remaining part later also. That's very important. Go to dependencies. Right. Perfect. Here we just need to write, ignore this warning. Okay. Now let's Marvin update. Okay. Marvin is updated. Yeah. Now let's go to this one. Okay. Components scan, base packages. Good responses, guys. Spring Boot. Sys out. Sys out. We'll have a message called as employee microservice. Perfect. And then let's go to our application properties. We need to change application properties. Copy text. Okay. This is 2002. Remaining everything is same, but the 2002. Okay. 2002. Change it to 2002. Same code only, guys. Just, port number. Very important. Port number 2002. And then let's create let's create a new package. Dot model. Dot repository. Dot repository, and then dot repository. So sorry. Right click on this and create new package. Dot service. And the next one is dot control. So controller is something like new class, employee controller. Model repository service. Okay. I think I'll take it from model. I have to take only employee only. I can't take customer because customer is handled by the admin. So employee. And repository also have to take only employee repository only. And then service also have to take employee service, interface, and implementation only. And coming to controller, I need to take only employee controllers only. So what I'll do is, let's just copy paste the code first. And I'll give you the code after renaming the, it is employee controller. We will remove all the no need of customer. It is only employee service, not that. And there is no admin service. It's It's employee service. Index we have, registration we have, and then employee login we have, check employee login we have, employee home we have, admin login we have to remove, check admin login we have to remove, view all employees, no need, insert employee, yeah we have, because employee registration. And then admin home, no need. It's employee, right? Why we need to have admin home? View by ID, no need. Delete employee, no need. Delete by ID, no need. Admin profile, we need. And then I think add customer, not required. Set customer, not required. Update status, not required. Set status, not required. Employee logout, okay. Done. Done as of now. So I'm ready with the controller, model, repository, and the service. And let's copy paste the JSP files. So web app, we need to create new folder. We need to create new folder called as CSS. And then create a new file called as style.css. And coming to web app, what are the files we need in the web app? Let's just check that. First, I'll copy all the files and then I'll remove whatever I don't require. Let's go to web app. I don't want add customer, admin home, admin login, navbar, customer, display. Navbar is updated or update profile. These three are not. And even in style.cs also, I can just copy paste the code of this. Copy and paste. And I think everything done. Did I update the Marvin? Yeah, I think I updated. Force update. Let me just right click on the employee microservice. Restart. Admin done. The next one is employee. So employee microservice. In the console, there are two projects are running. One is admin. If you click on admin, you will see all the admin microservice log. If you go to, so the admin microservice process ID is 23488. The employee microservice process ID is 6956. Process ID I'm talking about, not the port numbers. Right. I think the table will not be created again, right? Because already created in the admin part. But the data will be okay. The next one. Let's run this open browser. So home. And here I don't want this admin login. Let's change this. After change, I'll give you code, guys. Just observe this. Meanwhile, you can create those who are lagging in the project creation too. You can create. After I'm done with all the modifications, I'll give you the code, all the updated JSP files. ఈ మాట అనగానే కొంతమంది అమ్మయ్య అని చెప్పేసి వాడు అలా కూర్చుంటాడు అనమాట. Let me just, I don't want to take this, what we call admin login. Let me go to navbar. Not this actual navbar. Yeah. This is about, and we'll do about. Refresh. Okay, about. And now we'll go to employee controller. There is a one admin login can be changed to add. There is no admin login. Okay. And then I think I can take like this directly. This is about. This is also about. This is also about. And let's create a new JSP file. The JSP file is about us or about. I think I can just copy paste the code of I don't require all these things. Just simple message about page. So home, about page, employee. Home. Home. I think in the home we can just change the contents. I think employee registration, admin login, admin view all employees, and then add customer. Ninth one is update status of employee. This is and then the session management we already used. We used what we call model attribute also, Java mail also. Let me just insert one record. Sita Ram, female, department 6000. Sita at the rate gmail.com. Location Jayawada. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Register successfully. Login. Let me check in the table. Select star from emp underscore table. Perfect. And I'll check in the admin dashboard also. Total employees 1 view all employees. View. Okay. Delete employee can be deleted. Active, inactive. Perfect. It's working. Now login. Sita at the rate of gmail.com. Sita. Update profile. You can update the profile. Update successfully. But everything is perfect actually. It's perfectly run. I think I can start giving the code. Yeah. Now let's start giving the models first. Now the second project, my employee microservice. Employee microservice. First one is model. And then after model, I need to give repository. And then we need to give service. After service, I need to give controller. After controller, I need to give the JSP files. Main web app. Right. Done. So done with the admin part and employee part. This is admin microservice. This is employee microservice. So as per the diagram, these two are done. Now then we'll start a new concept called as API gateway, then Eureka server, Eureka client. Will be done. 11:25. Please complete in next 5 minutes so that we can start a concept called as API gateway, Spring Cloud API gateway. So if you complete in next 5 minutes, we will just discuss about API gateway in next 10 minutes, and then we will create remaining projects also, and we can complete as soon as possible. We will make sure you are comfortable to turn on the video at the end of this class. We'll take a photo of it, the online class. So make sure everyone turn on their video irrespective of any case, and don't send me any message, sir, I'm unable to turn on the video and all. It's just a minimum common sense, because if you go for interviews and all, if you work in company from the work from home, it is mandatory to turn on the videos. So just think like that, and make sure you make yourself comfortable to turn on the video at the end of this class. Right. I think there are two Gayatris. One is 30627. She joined from laptop only, and there is other Gayatri from mobile. Must leave this meeting immediately if you join from mobile. I think there are students. They joined from both the devices. I think they joined in mobile and they joined in laptop also. If that is the case, no problem. But if anyone joined only using mobile, they must leave the meeting immediately. If I see the report after the class, I'll take a stringent action against them. Right. I think two projects are running. One is let's filter. Okay. Right. Admin and my employee. So the code is done. Everything is done. Admin, employee. The problem here is we have in between project called as demo microservice. So 1.3. Otherwise, we would have taken name called as microservice admin, microservice employee, so that all project starts with M will be at one place, right? That will be a good thing actually. In your SDP project, you can go ahead with that. Creating project starts from microservice M. So all the projects will be at one place. That will be a good idea actually. Yep. Perfect. Fine. Meanwhile, let me just check my diagram. Let me ask one question. What is the port number where admin microservice is running? Can you just let me know what is the port number of admin microservice? 2001. And what is the port number of employee management, employee service? 2002. So how many projects we created so far? How many projects? 2. Each project is monolithic or microservice? Each project, admin or employees, monolithic architecture, microservice. Okay. How can you say ఆడెవడో monolithic అన్నాడు, నిద్రపోతున్నాడు అనుకుంటా. How can you say these two are microservices? Can you just tell me simple answer? Simple answer. Simple answer. Not just because of separation. There's a one simple reason. Individual service. Perfect, Mahikiran. Individual service. Admin microservice contains admin service, and employee service contains employee only. Perfect. Thank you so much. And of course, independent. Independent, you can't. I mean, independent is the other reason. That is the advantage actually. But main reason is only one service we have. And let me ask you one thing. So there are two projects. One is running on 2004 one port number, and the second one is running on 2002 port number. Okay. Now let me ask you one thing. If I give this project to client, so what you'll tell them? What you'll ask them to? So you will give two projects, right? So what you'll ask them? You need to ask them to run. You need to ask client to run on two port numbers. What are they? You will clearly explain him that go to localhost colon 2001 where admin microservice actions will be performed, and go to localhost colon 2002 where employee service operations will be done. Am I correct? Hope you understand that till now. So you have to explain two projects, 2001 and 2002. I hope I'm clear. I hope I'm clear as of now. Right. Like, what is the problem? What is the problem in explanation and all? Like, what is the problem? If I go like this, a client is nothing but he don't have any technical knowledge and all. He don't know about what is port numbers and all. So what you'll tell him instead of having, what is the disadvantage here actually? Of course, many projects. What is the disadvantage? You can just find out. Instead of single project means directly you will deploy the project and you will get one port number like that. But now you have multiple port numbers. Can you just tell me what are the disadvantages you can find out if you run this? Remember, you need to remember several port numbers. Managing those services at once. That is common thing. You don't tell me the managing service. Of course, we have to manage. That is secondary. Now I'm just telling you what is the problem with this number of port numbers. Of course, remembering is difficult, and go on. Remember is difficult, and then next one. Any other answer apart from that? I think there will be only one answer, like remembering server port numbers. Switching, perfect answer. Perfect answer, Teja. Switching, because I need to switch to one project to other project. Next, it will be complicated to understand. Boss, I told that point. You no need to copy paste that. I told that it will become too complicated to understand, manage the code. as it is difficult in monolithic architecture, that's why we segregated the code. No, why again you telling the complicated to understand and all. Perfect. Satvik said all projects run on the one project depend on others. Okay. Apart from all this, let me take one point. You found one thing called as managing several port numbers. Okay, managing several port numbers. So let me just give you one provision where only one port number will be there. That port number will be either route to admin microservice or the same port number will be route to employee microservice. Did you get my point? I'll take only one port number now, which is going to route either admin or employee based on my path. I hope you got my point. So let it be, for example, 2005. That 2005, based on the path, it will be routing to admin microservice or employee microservice. Did you get my point? So either admin or employee. So that concept is called as Spring Cloud API Gateway. Spring Cloud API Gateway. Spring Cloud API Gateway. And in next 15 minutes, we are going to complete this demo. You're supposed to post the screenshots in the group. So be ready. Sir, what is the Spring Cloud API Gateway? This is a very important point. So it allows you to implement the complexity separately from the client. Let's write like this. If one or more client projects running on, instead of saying the client projects, I'll say it as one or more microservices or services running on different port numbers. API gateway will have only one port number. To redirect to different client projects or different what we call microservices. Different microservices. We need to understand one point here before going to discuss about the Spring. So, for example, if multiple microservices are there in the different port numbers, if you want to route them to a single port number, then we have a concept called as what? API gateway. And we need to understand some components in the API gateway. The first one is route. What is route? It is a basic building block. It is the basic building block of the API gateway. It consists of the first one, ID. Generally, ID is nothing but application name, application or service name, and next one is destination URI, and the next one is collection of predicates and a collection of filters. I'll tell you what is predicates and filters. First one is predicate. Sir, what is predicate? Predicate is nothing but it is similar to Java 8 feature. Called as predicate. So predicate is nothing but using this functionality, we can match HTTP request such as header, URL, is are some parameters, right? Are some parameters. What is predicate? Predicate means we can match HTTP request. For example, which request, which path, I can map like that. The next one is predicate filter. We can filter based on IP address also. These are instances of Spring Framework. Instance of Spring Framework. Spring Framework gateway filter. Using this, we can modify the request. I mean, we can filter the request or response or any IP address or anything we can filter as per the requirements, as per the requirement. And here is a one note point that predicate is an object that will test if the given request satisfies a given condition or not. Predicate is a statement, right? Whether it may be true or false or not. For each route, we can define one or more predicates. And if satisfied, we'll accept request. So predicate means it's just we are going to route the paths and all. Filter means we can filter the request based on the requirements and all. Mainly, I'm going to use predicate actually. So what is the API gateway? If you want to managing multiple port numbers is very difficult. So that's why we are going to have only one single port number. Let me just go to my diagram now. So now we have a new component here called as API gateway. And this is API gateway. And let's take, can you just suggest me one port number for API gateway? 2001 is for admin, 2002 for employee. The next port number for API gateway, 2003. 3 will be continuation. Let's take 2000 will be better. 2025. Yeah, actually I would have taken, I want to take 4 twos only. 4 twos. API gateway. So first of all, API gateway will take the request from the client. So here we'll take the request from the client. And it will route to either admin microservice or employee microservice. And it will use some concepts called as predicate. Predicate is for routing the paths. Predicate. I'll write again. Predicate is to match every route and all based on the request from the client. And here we'll use some filters. There are 2 types of filters we have. One is pre-filter and the next one is post-filter. So filters we are now going to use. I don't want to confuse you. We are going to use only predicate. Predicate is to match every route to the. So now API gateway will run on 4 twos. It will go to either admin microservice or the employee microservice. So request will be coming, response will be coming. So here request, response. Here also request, response. So 222 is a 1 port number. 2001, 4 twos, 2002. Perfect. Finally, API gateway is one of the components we have in Spring Cloud. If one or more microservices running on the different port numbers, it will have only one port number to redirect the different microservices. What is root? It is a building block of gateway. It consists of ID, destination URI, collection of predicates. And what is predicate? It is used to match the every route to corresponding microservice. Filter, we can filter the requests and responses based on the requirement. Let's start creating third project. Go to new. This is API gateway. The one interesting point here is API gateway. API gateway is not a, it's just to, handle the load, handle the load and to just manage the port numbers only. It is not a project. So don't need to take web MySQL JP and all, right? So this is API gateway. Spring Cloud API Gate. I can just give you this heading directly. It'll be better. Right. This is perfect. Click on next. I need only actuator and I need only DevTools. That's all. That's all. API gateway is not a project boss. It's just a separate component to manage the port numbers. That's the only thing. You no need to add any MySQL or JP and all. DevTools is to, to modify the project without even restarting the server. Actuator to check the status of the endpoints. I'll tell you actuator at the end of this class. Next, finish. API gateway. Let's go to Java resources. No need to add any kind of component scan and all because it doesn't contain any folders. But the one best advantage we have is there is a one annotation called as load balance. Not here. I'll tell you later. You're going to get. There is a one annotation we're going to get after the adding the Eureka server and all. And let's add this out. API gateway. API gateway. You know, just a simple message API gateway. There is no separate. There is no separate. And let's go to our application properties. And server.port is equal to. I think we have to take 222. So third project, which is API gateway, which is 2022. API gateway will be common project for every SDP project. Is a common one. Remaining two will be changed as per their requirement. API gateway is common for every SDP project. Perfect. Right. Let's run this. So now three projects are running. One is the first one is. So now three projects are running. Admin microservice, API gateway, and microservice. So this is for admin and this is for employee. I hope you are clear. I hope everyone is clear as of now. Can I get responses? So you are clear as of now, right? We have created three projects: admin, employee, and the last one is what is last one? API gateway. Double two. Clear, boys. Yeah. Now, what I'm going to do now is let us all write some conditions in which we are going to access this admin by using double two. Even employee also double two only. So let's start writing that code. You just understand the code. At the end, I'll give you that one. The first one is spring dot cloud dot gateway. So sorry, guys. I just forgot one thing. So sorry. We need to add one dependency called as API gateway. You can add like this. Add status and type API gateway. API gateway. So it is showing Spring Cloud routing. You can check the description also. Let's check what is the description we're going to get. It provides a simple, effective way to route APIs and provides cross-cutting concerns to them, such as security, monitoring, and resilience. Perfect. So add this gateway, and we need to click on pom.xml. This I already told in the class because we are updating the pom.xml. Finish. Done. API gateway should be added. Okay. Either way, we are going to have a notes. In that notes, I'll write every dependency required for every project. Don't worry about it. Otherwise, you can check this recording also. Right. Spring dot. It is taking time to load. Cloud. Spring dot cloud gateway. 1 second. Dot. We got it. Routes. Routes. The first route is of 0 because this is the first application. For the first application, we need to start the index from the 0 dot ID. I told ID, right? ID is nothing but application name. Let me take admin service. Let me take admin service. And then dot URI. What is URI for destination URI? 2001. Okay. Right. And then the next one is spring dot cloud dot gateway dot roots of 0. Next, predicates. Predicate is nothing but predicates of 0 because 0 dot name. What is the predicate we are using? I'm using path predicate. There are many predicates we have. Let me use path predicate. What is that path predicate, sir? Path predicate means whenever you just give localhost colon 2001, it must go to admin microservice. Roots dot 0 means what we call the first microservice. Predicates of 0 dot args of pattern is equal to slash star star. That means whatever you give, for example, localhost colon 222, that must go to this part, localhost colon 2001. Right. The next one, I think I can just copy paste directly. This is 1 because second. This predicate is 0 only because I'm using only one predicate, which is path. Path is nothing but the routing. And this is employee service. Port number is 2. Clear as of now. Okay. 222. Right. And I need to give the application name. Here I need to give spring dot application name as API gateway service. Like that, I need to give for admin microservice also. So here, let me copy this. After server port number, I'll give what is the admin microservice. This is in admin microservice 1. Now let's go to employee also. Copy 2000. You will find by using port number, right, easily. So there will be no confusion. EMP service, right? Let me check that. EMP service. Okay. So now 2001, generally admin microservice will run. 2002, employee microservice will run. And let's take the new one, which is 222. Triple two, if you take slash, uh, let's take slash admin login. 1 second. Let me use slash. Localhost colon 2001 EMP service. Path predicate. Employee service predicates of 0, name is equal to path. Slash. We'll do one thing. If I give anything admin slash start star, for example, or if I give anything after slash start, if I use 2222 port number for product management system, I didn't use the product management system now, right? Am I running this service? What is that question? 2222 project is not running currently, so I can use that port number. Right. Let me just refresh this. I can just see the console by using API gateway. API gateway is running. 2222 slash admin. And I think we need to, this application should be, I mean, we need to change the type of the application. Spring.main.web application type. It is reactive. So what is this? The use explicitly requires a specific type of application, if not auto-detected based on the class path. Okay, it should be reactive. It is not it's a reactive web application. Check the application dependency. Web application could not be started. There was okay. Check your application dependencies for supported reactive. Check the configured application path. Let me remove this. Okay. Let's refresh. If I run by using EMP, for example, I'll do one thing. What I'll do is here, if I don't take admin slash and all, just if I take slash start star, just a slash start star, for example. Now, if I give localhost colon 2001, I'm getting the admin microservice. Here I'm getting 2002. Now, what is the triple two? Is it triple two is running currently? Yes. So now if I give triple two slash, here there is a problem. I think gateway URI everything is perfect. Let's just check this the code again. ID admin service HTTP colon URI localhost colon this one. I think let me take this. Let me remove this slash. Is there any and path? Okay. If I give slash, okay. Cloud gateway roots of one.id and URI HTTP colon localhost colon 2002. Roots of one predicate of 0 is path p capital and slash 0. It is args of pattern. It's perfect. Let me restart again. Please set the application type and set the application name as reactive. Yeah. And now I know this. to give restart. We got it. The only problem is like I didn't restart the server. So 222 we got slash admin microservice and then slash admin login. We got it. And then let's give the about page also. Surya output vachiddi. Slash about about slash about will take about page. Let's take slash admin microservices. What is the other URIs we have? Slash. The next one is what? Employee login. So here we just got one problem that byte label error we got for no message available. Now what we can do is let's restart. I'll go to admin. I'll go to Spring admin, admin controller. Here, let's give request mapping as admin. So what that means actually, everything should start with slash admin only. Let me restart the server. Right. Slash admin slash. Okay. And then let me give the same thing for employee also. Employee login. Here we have to give request mapping of EMP. EMP. So the problem here is it is not applying the CSS. That's the problem. We need to come out of that. Right. Let's remove this get mapping. We'll go with normal admin only. Let's remove this slash and then here also home about employee admin microservice. Admin microservice. Oh, both are having slash. That's the problem. Okay, fine. Got it. Here the slash means 2002. Yeah, we got it. I mean, what is that? 222. We need to take this employee login. If I take that, the problem will be slash is the problem. If I remove this, then we need to give always slash admin login only. We got it. And here I need to give slash. Okay. Then in this case, I need to give every time I need to restart or what's the problem? Restart the API gateway. So slash is not there. We got the output for everything, only except what we call the employee microservice only. Let's restart once again the employee microservice. Let us all check these predicates again. Roots of one, ID, employee service. The only problem we are not getting for employee login. Okay. What if I just have this? You can't have same thing. Here we have slash and here so this way let's remove this. Because it should be unique, right? Admin login here and about is not there. We need to check this application or properties. Can you just look into it? ID cloud.gateway.roots.1 employee service. Let's check the employee service name here. Go to application or properties. Right. Is my screen visible, guys? I just I just left from the meeting and I joined again. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Let me restart this again. I think there is a problem in the employee manager only. Admin is perfect. Admin is perfect. Let me check in the admin controller is fine. Employee controller. We are giving this controllers, right? Here we are giving. Here we are. Here we are clearly telling that any service which is from admin service slash we are mentioning the paths here clearly, right? Employee service only problem. EMP service. EMP service. Okay. Predicates of zero dot name path. What if I take slash? Admin login, employee login. And then here we got slash. No. Slash we didn't write, right? So admin login. Admin. So everything will go to triple double two only. Okay. It's perfectly running. View all employees, delete employee, update status, everything double two only, but admin login. Here you clearly told that any path which is after 2001, that is slash start star, which is admin service, that will be running on the double two. Okay. But the only problem here is the employee. I think it is just following the predicates like this. I think the roots are going for what we call the only for admin, it seems, not for the employee. That's the problem. HTTP localhost port number, path, and the slash star. Slash star. If I keep this, okay, it is just telling me that. What? Let's do one thing. Let's take here the rest mapping of, request mapping of employee. So here what I'll do is everything I should need to give as a employee slash. The problem here is we need to out of this syllabus. The problem here is the CSS problem. We need to take dot dot slash everything and all. Let's slash means, what is the, let's take a controller for admin actually, slash admin. So it's a simple one. We'll take it for admin. Okay. Now here, I'll take admin. Okay. And then admin login. Perfect. Here, slash is this, slash emp login. Perfect. Here you're not going to get for slash. Okay. Now you'll get for admin login. But the only problem is we are not getting for triple two, which is for what is that actually? EMP, EMP gateway. I think I only have a problem with this path localhost slash text. My port number is running properly. Everything is perfect. 2001 is my admin. 2002 is my employee. Let's have a 15 minutes break. Come at 12:30 sharp. Let's have 15 minutes break, guys. Maybe that is the reason. Uh, I, I'll I'll check that. Wait 1 second. I'll check and let you know. I'm ready. I just changed the path and all. Regarding CSS, we just need to change the part. I just want to highlight one point that till the end of the class, if you join the meeting for any kind of reason, you will lose 4 hours attendance. I'll not listen any kind of excuses in the Telegram. I'll directly mark 4 hours attendance as absent directly, even if you even if you are not there in the 15 minutes of the session. Also, just remember this point. Yeah, I'll not even look at your the excuses like internet is not there. I'll not even listen to your case also. Yeah, just remember. And those who are going to post the screenshots in the group only will get the attendance. Right. So we need to add this @request mapping. So let's go to Harshit. Take it as a last and final warning. I've been seeing you like 4 times you have left and joined the meeting. Last and final warning for you. There are like 5 to 10 set of students. Those who are frequently join and left the meeting. It will not be acceptable. Even if you face internet connection, don't join the meeting then. Right. So I've taken /admin. So everything you should access by using /admin/ and then admin login. And one thing I've done is uh, in the admin login, here the CSS file path is something like css/style.css. If you take that, the problem will be like this. So you just need to go to one step outside. That means dot dot. Then you'll be out of the admin folder. Yeah, like this. Now you'll get like this. And coming to employee. So even in the employee also. So I need to change this to every page actually. Add customer. I'll give the files so that you'll update accordingly. Admin nav bar, customer message, no need, delete employee, update status, view all employees, view employee by ID. Now let's run this. Admin. So everything is working under admin. There's a problem here. Add customer.jsp, some problem here. Okay. I think I added extra lines, it seems. Okay. View all employees, everything is working. It should be admin/. Can you all update this code? The first one is, let me give you admin microservice code. The first screenshot I want to give is, here you just add a line called as admin, just to update this. After this, you just let me, after this, I'll give you a JSP files. One by one, we'll do slowly, no problem. Don't confuse. Yeah. Just add that into admin controller. After that, I want you to update all the JSP files. src main web app. No need to update, guys. Just one line only. You need to add dot dot slash. Dot dot slash. Only simple point. Let me just know once you have executed, and we'll go to employee manager. After this, let me know in the chat. Once you have executed, you need to execute like this. Slash and then slash admin login. From here, it is same admin, everything is same. Just let me know once you are done, then we'll go to employee, then we'll go to this part. So you no need to update every JSP file, just change it to dot slash, because you're just coming out of the admin folder from the slash admin. That's why we're giving dot slash. That's the only thing. Dot slash. Let's do the same case for what we call the employee also. Employee controller. Add this line for employee controller. And here I need to change for the navbar. Let me just change it for only for slash. Okay. I think I can remove here. I added only for navbar. So why I need all these things? Otherwise, I need to change in every page. So employee login. Navbar. That's why రెండు ఫైల్స్ ఇలా ఇంపోర్ట్ అవడం వల్ల మనకు అక్కడ ఇంతక స్టైల్ రాలేదు. ఓకే. navbar లో ఉంటే సరిపోతుంది. Yeah. This is dot slash. Let me check this employee also. Right. Home, about, we need to go with what we call emp slash. That's the problem. Navbar. Here it is. emp. This is index.jsp will executed. Yeah. Slash emp slash. Generally, by default, index.jsp will be executed, right? Yeah. Then click on home, about, right. Home. If you click on home, that's the problem. The problem will be index.jsp is the problem. So you just need to give only slash emp boys. So when you click on home, index.jsp, when you click on home, the problem will be home page is getting executed. Okay. That means I need to go to employee controller once. All of you change this. All of you create a new file, which is web app, and create as main, so that whatever the code in index.jsp, let's keep it in main.jsp. So because index.jsp is by default running, that's the problem. So let's remove it. Let's remove it. Perfect. Continue. Perfect. And then if I go to employee controller, then it will be, when I go to slash, main.jsp will be executed. Perfect. Then here emp slash we have to give, and then this should be home actually, so that main.jsp will be executed. And then if I go to navbar, I'll give you files, no problem. Navbar, Which navbar? Normal navbar. The home page will be executed, right? So there is no slash. So there is no slash now. Oh, okay. There is no slash. Okay. Now I need to, if there is no slash, I think I need to write for slash here. Even it is slash, the same page. Even it is home also same page. That will be better. Main home. And let's do one thing. Here we'll write, I think we have written for admin microservice. Slash I've written admin, right? Okay. Here we'll write employee microservice. And whenever I click on home, it will go to main. Be better. Let me change it again. Navbar. I think you are completing admin. Once I'm done, I'll give you employee also. Just be. I think I can give here the main or not slash actually. I think it is home. Yeah. Let's try this. You need to give slash emp slash. Okay. I need to give at the rate response body. At the rate response body. Okay. Now slash home. Perfect. 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 Sita at the rate of gmail.com. Sita. Perfect. Home is executing. Update profile. Logout. Now all of you take these files. The first file. You go to, you update employee controller. Employee controller. And then update all the JSP files and let me know. Let me wait for 10 minutes and then I'll give you API gateway. So right. All of you be ready with your employee and then admin execution. I'll give you 5 to 10 minutes time. Please complete it and let me know in the chat. Then we'll execute API gateway. Meanwhile, I'll do all the modifications. Let me know once you're done with the what we call um, employee also. This is admin, this is employee. Okay. ఇంటర్నల్ సిఎస్ఎస్ తీసుకోవడం బెటర్ అనుకుంటా. రైట్. సో 222 రన్ అవుతుంది కదా బానే. లెట్ మీ టేక్ EMP ఆల్సో. What is that? Home. Okay. About employee. Everything is running. Okay. Internal CSS తీసుకుంటే then entire code. Right. సో ఏపీఐ గేట్వే, సో మీరు ఇండివిజువల్ గా రన్ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటే దెన్ అడ్మిన్ లాగిన్ ఇలా విడివిడిగా రన్ చేసి చూపిస్తారు ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ అప్పుడు. ఏపీఐ గేట్వే నాకు తెలిసి రివ్యూలో చూపించాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, ఇండివిజువల్. సో ఏపీఐ గేట్వే ఊరికే ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కిందే మీరు 2001, 2002 ఇలా విడివిడిగా చూపించండి. అండ్ మెయిన్ గా యురేకా సర్వర్, యురేకా క్లయింట్, అది మెయిన్. అది అయిపోతే మన క్లాస్ అయిపోద్ది. సో ఇక్కడ మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే యూ విల్ టేక్ ఇంటర్నల్ సిఎస్ఎస్, దట్ విల్ బి బెటర్. ఆర్ మళ్ళీ డాట్ డాట్ అని తీసుకోవాలి. ఇంటర్నల్ సిఎస్ అయితే సేమ్ పేజ్ లో కోడ్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి మీకు డైరెక్టరీస్ ప్రాబ్లం రాదు. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను మీకు ఇచ్చే కోడ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఫైల్ కోడ్. సో ఏపీఐ గేట్వే గుడ్ రెస్పాన్సెస్ గైస్, అందరూ బాగా చేస్తున్నారు. ఒక 15 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళు ఇంత నుంచి లాగిన్ అయ్యేలా. ఏందో వీళ్ళందరికీ ఇప్పుడు కాదులే. ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ గోయింగ్ టు పోస్ట్ ఏపీఐ గేట్వే కోడ్. సో ఇక్కడ నేను ఇచ్చేది ఏంటంటే, సో ఒక విషయం చెప్పండి, 2001 విత్ అడ్మిన్ స్లాష్ అంటే ఏ సర్వీస్ లోకి వెళ్తుంది? 2001 విత్ అడ్మిన్ స్లాష్ ఏ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కి వెళ్తుంది? అంటే నేను ఇప్పుడు 222 అడ్మిన్ మైక్రో సర్వీస్. అట్లాగే ఇంకో పాత ఏంటిది? ఈఎంపీ స్లాష్. ఈఎంపీ స్లాష్ దేనికి వెళ్తుంది? ఈఎంపీ సర్వీస్. అట్లాగే 2 రూట్స్ రాసుకున్నా. ఫస్ట్ రూట్ ఇండెక్స్ 0తో స్టార్ట్ అయ్యింది, సెకండ్ రూట్ ఫస్ట్ తో స్టార్ట్ అయ్యింది, ఎందుకంటే ఇండెక్స్ స్టార్ట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ 0 కాబట్టి. ఐ హోప్ ఇట్ ఈస్ క్లియర్. ఇందాక చెప్పినట్టు రెండింటికి స్లాష్ స్టార్ తీసుకోవడం వల్ల రెండు సేమ్ పాత్స్ కాబట్టి నాకు ఎర్రర్ వచ్చింది. నైస్ పాయింట్ రైస్ పై పాల్. అందుకనే నేను 2 డిఫరెంట్ పాత్స్ తీసుకున్నాను. ఫైన్, గుడ్ రెస్పాన్సెస్. వెయిట్ ఎ మినిట్ గైస్, దెర్ ఈస్ వన్ థింగ్ కాల్డ్, వెయిట్ ఎ మినిట్. మీరు ఇక్కడ స్టార్ తీసుకోవాలి. ఇక్కడ మారిపోతుంది కోడ్. లెట్ మీ డూ వన్ థింగ్, నేను మీకు ఫైల్ ఇస్తాను. ఐ డూ వన్ థింగ్. అది మీకు అర్థమైంది కదా పాయింట్? బోల్డ్ లో మారిపోతుంది, దట్స్ ద ప్రాబ్లం. కొంతమంది ఉంటారు, సో వాళ్ళ కోసం ఫైల్ ఇద్దాం. మోమినే ఉంటాడు, మోమినే ఫస్ట్ మాట్లాడతా, ఫస్ట్ చేంజ్ చేస్తాడు ఆ బోల్డ్ కలర్. రైట్, సరే. నా మార్చిన తర్వాత ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ రన్ దిస్. ఎంప్లాయీ మైక్రో సర్వీస్, అడ్మిన్ మైక్రో సర్వీస్, ఈ 2 రన్ చేసాం. ఈ సిఎస్ఎస్ ఫైల్స్ మొత్తం మీరు మార్చుకోండి తర్వాత. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను సో స్లాష్ అడ్మిన్ అడ్మిన్ మైక్రో సర్వీస్ కి వెళ్తాయి, అండ్ స్లాష్ బి రీడైరెక్ట్ ఇంటూ ఎంప్లాయీ మైక్రో సర్వీస్. సో జస్ట్ చెక్ దిస్ అండ్ లెట్ మీ నో ఇన్ ది చాట్. Once you are done, just let me know in the chat. and emp slash అన్ని ఎంప్లాయ్ మైక్రోసర్వీస్ కి వెళ్తాయి. ఇది రన్ చేస్తే సరిపోతుంది గైస్. మీరు ఎస్డిబి ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో మళ్ళీ సిఎస్ఎస్ ఏం మార్చొద్దు. మీకు అర్థమైంది కదా నేను చెప్పింది. ఏపీఐ గేట్వే రెండు డిఫరెంట్ గానే చూపించండి, నో ప్రాబ్లం. మనం రియల్ టైమ్ లో ఎలాగో డిప్లాయ్ చేస్తాం కాబట్టి లాస్ట్ మనం హ్యాకథాన్ అప్పుడు మనకి ప్రాబ్లం రాదు, సిఎస్ఎస్ ఫైల్స్ అని ప్రాబ్లం రాదు. ఇట్ గెట్ పాయింట్. ఐ హోప్ ది ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఈస్ రన్నింగ్ రైట్. సో 222 లో మొత్తం హోమ్ రన్ అవుతుంది బానే. అండ్ లెట్ మీ గో టు హోమ్ పేజ్. సిఎస్ఎస్ కి కూడా మనం ఇంటర్నల్ సిఎస్ఎస్ తీసుకుంటే మనకి ప్రాబ్లం ఉండదు, రైట్. అండ్ ఎంప్లాయ్ లాగిన్ కి వెళ్దాం. sita@gmail.com. సీత, సూపర్. సో అప్డేట్ అంతా బాగానే వర్క్ అవుతుంది. ఓన్లీ థింగ్ is CSS that we can change the directory. So if you are done, we can start Eureka server and all. That screenshot you need to post in the be ready. I'll give you another 4 minutes time. emp/ will be, yeah. I'm posting this URL also. Will be highlighted. See, my API gateway, the demonstration is done because now from now onwards you no need to individually run the project 2001 and 2002. I can run by using a single port number. Now tell me, what is the port number we have to use to run both the projects? చెప్పకపోతే మనం ఇప్పుడు దాకా చేసినంత సూపర్ నైస్. 2222. Okay. So which concept I used for 2222 port number? Which concept I used for 2222 port number? Which API? API gateway. Okay. API gateway. What is the component in which? What is the component in which we can just filter our requests and responses based on the requirements? The answer is in my question only. Filter. And other than filter, what is the other feature we have in the API gateway? I have used in the predicate. Super. Predicate is used to routing purpose. So admin // that is for routing purpose. Okay. Last part of the class, which will be very interesting actually, that is a Eureka server and Eureka client. Are you all ready? Can you just bear at least next for 20 minutes, please? Yeah, thank you so much. This recording will be like useful for your future purposes also. So we discussed everything in the recording. It will be nearly 3 hours. Perfect. Let's start. And you're supposed to post the screenshot also. Be ready. Be ready. And all of you stop all the services. Stop all the services. You can right click on it, stop all the services. Where is my notepad file? Okay. Yeah. So till now we created 3 projects, and let's create a new project called as Eureka server. Repeat Eureka server. And the by default port number is 8761. I repeat this again. I hope everyone executed the individual services, admin and microservice, and employee microservice, and the API gateway also. So if CSS issues can be resolved after the hosting, or you can just give instead of what we call external CSS, just go with internal CSS. So it will be very easy, because the execution is important. Whether we are able to run by using 2222, or that's the main thing. So we executed it. Perfect. And let me go to my diagram. Now I'm just going to, so this is a one project, second project, third project. Now all of you create a new project called as Eureka server. The port number is 876161. Third project. So let me clear the log. I stopped all the projects. Go to new Spring Starter, Eureka server. Here it is. Eureka server. Good responses, guys. Good response. You need to take actuator DevTools and type Eureka server. You need to take. So DevTools actuator. Let me repeat again. API gateway, Eureka server is a two common projects must be there in everyone's HTTP project. These two are common. Same dependencies, same. Remaining services, Eureka clients will be different. Admin Eureka client and what we call employee Eureka client. So DevTools, actuator, Eureka server. Done. These three are enough. Actuator. Okay, next. Finish. So my project is getting created. We need to take enable Eureka server. I'll show you. Enable Eureka server. Enable Eureka server. Just out. Eureka server is running. Just out. Eureka server is running. Just out. Eureka server is running. Okay. Enable, everything is done. And let's go to our properties file. First one is generally port number. Generally, you can use any port number. Generally, by default port number is 8761. The next one is this is Eureka server only. This is not client. So we need to make it false. How to do that? Eureka dot client dot register This should be false because this is not a client project. This is a server project. So we need to make sure that Eureka client is turned off. The next one is even even serv- uh, even for the service discovery also, this should be kept off only. That's why Eureka server.client and fetch registry must be false. And and the next one is there is a wait time. If you think that there is no wait time in the sending the request, you can directly send wait time when sync is off empty should be 0. Or if you want to keep like 1 millisecond, 2 milliseconds, you can take that means waiting time. I'm keeping waiting time as 0 only. And then we need to take the instance name also, which is a host name. Uh, host name is localhost because as we every project is running in the host, I mean local host, we have to take host name as local only, right? This is registration with this is service registry and the fetching registry. That means discovery. Both must be false because this project is server, not client. And the wait time I'm keeping it as 0. The instance host name is localhost. So the host name here they given the description clearly. The host name it can be determined at configuration time. Otherwise, it will be guessed from the OS primitives. Generally, host name will be your desktop name. Your desktop name. Okay. Now let me run this project. Eureka server run. Open in browser. So we got this. So this is the Eureka server. So from this dashboard, we are going to run map all the clients and all. Here there are no applications till now. So that is the last part of the class where we are going to see admin microservice, employee microservice, and the API gateway also. If you don't add API gateway, only admin and so that is the last part. I hope you're all ready. Let me just give you this code of application.properties. This is application.properties file. Just copy paste it, which contains client must be turned off and waiting time is 0. Host name is localhost. So finally, after running the project, you will get the you have to get the when you run the project 8761 Eureka dashboard will be like this. Let me know once you're done with this, and we'll apply the same for remaining admin and API gateway also. That's the that where we can just close that, wind up the class. Simple 3 lines only, right? The Eureka client must be a false. Eureka client fetch registry. Fetch registry is nothing but discovery. Register with Eureka means service registry. There are two things: registry and discovery. Registry means we need to register the every client into server. Discovery means we have to search for the every instance. Complete the same and 1.5. Let me wait for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we will start configuring our clients into this Eureka server. Is this concept is very interesting? So you're doing real-time projects, guys. Like these things are learning in the industry only, like configuring the servers and all. Like it's just something like it's just a good concept in the Springboard we have. We can just handle every microservice from one place only using Eureka server provided by Netflix, right? So I hope everyone got the output for the API gateway also 2222. I clearly told if you face any issues with the CSS, you just use internal CSS. Yeah, right. Thank you so much for the responses. Thank you. Uh, so at the end of this class, make sure you're all be ready with the turning on their videos. Yeah. Good responses. Out of 220, except 15 to 20 remaining all active. I mean, I'm seeing the report also here. How many active? Active. Even if you just open the laptop and not active, I can see the report from my participants list actually. I'll talk with them later clearly. Super guys. Right. Now let's now till now which file is running? Like only Eureka server is running. Okay. So finally. So now as per Eureka server is running. Okay. What is the port number? 8761. Then let's go to admin microservice. Right click on admin microservice. Go to Maven. Sorry. Go to Spring. Go to add status. Go to add status. Here, just type client. You need to take, let's just type Eureka. You need to take Eureka discovery client. So it is used to locate the services for purpose of load balancing and failure of middle tier servers. So we need to make every microservice as a client. So that means admin microservice and the employee microservice, even API gateway also client only. Okay, because it's a client, because that is your microservice architecture only. There's the only difference is you are having only one port number instead of multiple port numbers. So Eureka discovery client. Next. Update the pom.xml. Finish. And you need to go to Java resources. I mean, the application or properties. Only one thing you need to add is this Eureka application host name. Just add only this line because local host. You need to configure the host name because your server host name and the client's host name must be same. That is very important. So add the only one line. Where you're adding, you can simply by looking at the port number. 2001 means it's admin microservice. Add that line. You can copy paste from previous project also. And then let's do the same for employee microservice. Right click on it, Spring, add status, Eureka client, next, finish. And copy this. And here also add this line, employee microservice. Admin is done, employees. And the last one is API gateway. Okay. API gateway. Let's right click on this Spring, add status. We need to add a discovery client. Update the pom.xml, finish. And then I think we need to update the API gateway resource. Instance name as, let me take this instance name, copy. Just add this line in the API gateway also. You don't need to look at the screenshots while typing also, you can copy paste it. Simple thing. Right. Let me check the status of my, what we call, Eureka, refresh. Now, let me Spring Boot actuator. Now, let's run the project one by one. Let's run admin microservice. Admin microservice. So when you run the admin microservice, we already configured the Eureka instance. Every Eureka clients will be configured by using the instance name. Okay. Admin microservice is running. So when you refresh this, so you got this right. We are done. We are done, boys. So we got admin service application. Don't click on this. It is actuator. You will get the error. I'll tell you how to configure this. So we got this. And then let's run the second project also, which is employee microservice restart. I'm running employee microservice. Employee microservice also running. Refresh. Done. So you can apply all kind of cloud technologies. We can integrate with AWS, everything you can do. That's the power of Spring Cloud. Whenever you want to, it's just about the Microsoft architecture, but along with that, it is to use to deploy in the cloud environment also. The last one. I mean, PC is my desktop name. That's why you got it. The next one is API gateway. The last one, API gateway. Now refresh. So all my three services are displaying here. You can check this. So you can just manage everything from this console. I mean, there are many metrics you can just check everything like which is running, which is not running. Everything you can check from here. The memory consumed, how many instances are running, how many services are done, how many are up, how many are down. Everything you can just check. Let me pause this screenshot. I already told this link in the last class, actuator. So actuator is used to see the metrics of the endpoints and all. You can check the beans, you can check the catches, you can check the conditions, you can check everything, health and all. So what you're supposed to do is there is a one link, I mean, line, this one. You copy that. I'm posting in the group also. That is nothing but you want to see all the details of the endpoints. So star means all the details. If you want to see only beans, is equal to beans. If you want to see only info, is equal to info. So what you're supposed to do, just do one thing. Go to every application property. These are no need of this. I mean, go to this what we call uh, admin microservice and give, just add this line for the admin microservice. Actuator means to see the information on metrics about the endpoints. Endpoints means your URLs. Just add that line in every application dot properties. Everyone's application. This is employee microservice. And this is API gateway. And now, when you refresh this, now when you click on this, for example, so you got nothing. There is no info. Now, if you want to see beans, for example, you will see all the beans like this. I think in admin, what is the beans we have used? What we call this one. Uh, admin service bean. Yeah, you got this admin service bean. And then we have used employee service bean. Employee service bean is not there. Admin service and the repository also we have used, right? Repository. Yeah. Like this. And you can just check the API gateway also. And API gateway beans means all the beans you're going to get, all the beans, both the employee bean as well as admin bean also. And next one is employee service bean. You can check beans, any information. Sir, what information I can get by using this, using actuator? So the link is already posted in the group. You can check I think 2 weeks back, it seems. I'll post again for your reference if you want. So this link contains all the information. The first one is audit events, catches, conditions, environment, flyway, health, info, loggers, metrics, mappings, everything you can check. So you can check the mappings also. Let's check that actually. Mappings. Mappings. This contains insert employee, everything you'll get, right? We are getting everything. I think I just got one idea. Let me check in the Firefox so that it will be clearly visible. So we got mappings, right? The first one is insert TMP. Okay, we got com dot. And the next one is error. Everything we are getting mappings also. All the mappings we can see from this place. Right. And here also, let's check in I think in the API gateway, what are the mappings? It is going to give combined mappings. Yeah, combined mappings. And here also, right. And one more thing, if you want to use REST template, I hope you already know, we have to go to main file. And here you add one bean called as, if you want to communicate between two applications. I already told in the demo microservice. You remember the class REST template and REST template, return new REST template on. So using this concept, you can just communicate between admin and what is that? Employee microservices. And one more point, generally application dot the extension will be properties, but there is another property called as AML. AML. AML means .yml file. .yml file. I'll tell you what is YML file. So just to go to admin microservices and resources, right click on the file. You no need to do this, just only for the future purpose. There is one option called as convert to. You don't do this, guys. You just go ahead with the normal properties only. Don't change the format. Otherwise, it will be confused. Don't change the format. Now, everything you'll get it as an indentation actually. Like this, you'll get. It's very easy, right? That means what? Eureka contains instance. Instance contains host name. And Eureka and management contains endpoints. Endpoints contains web. Web contains exposure. It is very human readable. If you just check the difference between properties file and the YAML file, YAML, the extension is YML. The differences will be YML is a more human readable, which is perfectly indentations and all, and easy to remember also generally. Human readable. This is a YML file. YAML. So you go with properties only because why I didn't discuss at the beginning of the class in the sense some people will not give the indentations and all. So if your property file is wrong, the entire project will not run. That's why I discussed only properties file. So you can check this one also. Perfect. So what are the concepts we discussed so far today? We discussed about Spring Boot projects, and then we discussed about monolithic versus microservice architecture. And then we discussed about Spring Cloud with Eureka concept, which we have service registry, service discovery, and we discussed about what is Eureka client and what is Eureka server. And then we created all the projects. Now I want to highlight one point. At the beginning of the class, I've taken one example, right? What is this student? So those, I mean, yeah. Now they need to create projects like this. They will have admin microservice. They will have student microservice. They will have faculty microservice and course microservice. These four are Eureka clients. EC means Eureka client. Now let me know, apart from these four, what are the two additional projects we need to create? Can you just let me know in the chat? These four are Eureka clients, which is clear. Apart from these four, what are the other two we need to create? Eureka server, perfect. And what is next one? API gateway, perfect. Server plus API gateway. So total, how many projects you need to create? Total 6 projects. That means if your project is rental management system, admin, seller, tenant, and API gateway plus Eureka server. Perfect. Everyone in this class must post this screenshot. It must be clearly visible. Just decrease the size like this. And I want to see all these 3 services clearly. And taskbar must be there. Otherwise, I'll delete the screenshot straight away. I'm just giving you permission. Make sure taskbar is visible clearly. Right. Cluster 6, no student has posted. Uh, I mean, one. It's nearly 3.5 hour class. This will be very interesting, guys. I mean, without any hiccups, we have done. It's just it's just because of your support only. Like, I mean, really useful session actually. I mean, uh, I want everyone to focus on your SDP project and complete and change your front ends from Wednesday onwards. I'm going to call every student team to check the status SDP project. If you didn't change front ends, you must change the front ends and all. And after Eureka Client and Eureka Server, I created projects like admin microservice, and then I created projects like employee microservice, and then I created project like Eureka Server, and then I created API Gateway. API Gateway created before Eureka Server on 4 projects. This is 2001. This is 2002. This is triple two. This is 8789. And I completed actuator concept also. Only pending, and I actuator is done. And properties versus AML file. And we are done with the syllabus actually, but still I want to discuss these things. Relational mapping, uh, one to one, one to many, one to many to one, and many to many. And the next one, relational mapping. And let's talk about the paging also. These are simple topics we can discuss in our next class. And I hope you know how to communicate with between services, which is REST template. Yeah. Actuators and all, you can do it later also, no problem. And once you got uh, these 3 services, you can post the screenshot straight away. Actuators and all, that's up to you. You no need to include in your SDP project also. I added the later. So I need everyone to display all these 3 instances that are registered with Eureka. 3: admin, API gateway, and EMP service. Everyone's service will get to know by their their desktop name, Harsha. Host Docker है. Localhost. Basha, you have given the instance name was wrong. You need to change this. I mean, I don't know why you got this. You are following the class or other class, and I don't know. Kiran, Yashashvi, laptop, Hari, Surya, the IP address, Nitya, Karthik. Why he is getting Janardhan? Why they get Janardhan? Can you just let me know? Did you change this? I mean, you got this automatically, or why you got like this? Host, Docker, internal automatically. Can you just respond in the chat? You or anyone? Automatically got. Okay, perfect. Okay, I thought like you just got. I mean, you changed it. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you, Momin. Thank you for your response.